Okay, so imagine you've been doing the same thing for like a super long time, and you've had other dreams, you've had other passions, you've been kind of tired of like the daily grind or like the daily routine. Maybe not a grind, but like a routine of the same old, and you know that you're not supposed to be where you are, but you're just not, you just haven't, life just had other plans for you. Maybe it was just hard stuff going on. Well, that was me. And now I'm a month away from 50, and I've decided to make some changes. And one of those changes are leaving my day job of like 23 years and choosing an early retirement incentive that they've got going on. And that was a once in a lifetime opportunity. So I just decided to go in and go for it. But let me tell you, I feel like it was a lot of self talk in terms of betting on myself to say, like, I can do this. So, my name's Jen. I have, in addition to working for my day job for 23 years, and then I've had other jobs before that, but in this last one, it was 23 years. In addition to that, I've been a business and performance coach for over 15 years, but off and on. And while it's been something that I love doing and that I've been passionate about it, crazy things happened over the last 15 years that prevented me from like really going forward and like doing it. So now this early retirement opportunity came along, and now I can do this. And I started this channel because I thought, well, why don't I document it, bring you along with me? And because I do feel like I'm starting over. So even though I have these 15 years of experience, business coaching solo entrepreneurs, and in the online space and in person, it feels like all new. I took a short break. The world has changed. AI's coming in like a storm. I'm happy to have some equipment to do some like filming with, but I don't know. I feel like the world is so different in the last couple of years. And so I really feel like I'm starting over. And while I'm not really starting over because I have all this experience in the back, like behind me, I'm different now. Like hitting 50 hits differently. I don't have the kind of energy that I had when I was in my 20s and 30s, like building my career, or that kind of posture and confidence. And something kind of happened along the way where like you just get a little bit beaten down, you get a little bit scared, and the fears are there, where the fears just were not, like they just were not there in my younger days. And I didn't really care about rejection. I would just put myself out there and I would be super confident in what I had to offer. And then for some reason along the way, life happens, hard things happen. In other videos, maybe I'll go into that, but I'm not ready to just yet. But then like the mindset stuff, just, it's like almost like there's so much infiltration in your mind that just like puts the excuses in front of you, or puts the fear in front of you, and maybe makes it difficult for you to feel like it's safe to be visible and to really put yourself out there. So I'm really happy to be stepping forward and doing this. And if you're here, thank you for watching. If you like what you're hearing so far, please like and subscribe. Give me a comment, or at least comment and tell me that you might be going through the same thing too. But yeah, so I'm both excited and I'm scared. And I think you can understand why. So also, it's 2026. There's been so much chatter about what's going to happen in 2027. Is it going to be doom, or is it going to be amazing? And I think there's two schools, like two camps that feel this way. And so like one feels super positive and optimistic about the future. Innovations here, AI is coming in, the online space is booming, YouTube channels are blowing up. And then there's the other side. And then you can do it quickly with like, with the help, right? And I honestly, I think I'm here right now because I was able to chat with an AI agent and just say, hey, well, should I do it this way or should I do it that way? Or even just answer some of my quick questions around like, how am I going to do this and how am I going to do that? And anyways, it's so exciting that we have all these tools in front of us. And then there's the other side of it. It's like, oh, but everything's changing. The economy's a little bit rough. Everything's getting like super expensive. There's the crunch. And so I was kind of in between a rock and a hard place with this early retirement opportunity because it was a little bit too early for me. But also, will there be another opportunity to do this, to jump into that and then be able to pursue my actual passion, which is the business coaching side of me, which is being an entrepreneur, and not just the business coaching side, but like the multiple side hustles that I've had over the past 15 years. And so I feel like this is such a blessing and an opportunity that I can take advantage of that and have the time actually to be more creative and not worry so much about if it was going to work or not going to work, but just to kind of like put myself out there and just see what happens. So 23 years at my day job, 15 years as a business coach. However, I will say it's been off and on because of life things happening, from finishing my master's, getting married, having a baby, going on maternity leave. Then when she was 18 months, I became a single mom. And so that completely changed the course of what I had the capacity to do. So there was a bit of a pause there. And then the online space comes in. So I'm learning about that. And I started again. And then COVID hits. And there's another burst of, wonderful productivity in that. But the day job has always been there. And so sometimes or a lot of the times actually, being a single parent and then also a full-time job and then also trying to do a side business, it wasn't always possible. Plus you're going through family court matters, and that takes away a lot of the focus and energy that you could put on your side business. And so fast forward, I have a preteen and we have an opportunity presented to me to retire early, and I took it. And so that's been the journey that I've taken. But here's the thing. So it wasn't an easy decision. As soon as I saw that opportunity, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is absolutely me. But I can't say that I haven't worried about what was going to happen. So I met with my financial advisor multiple times. Thank you, financial advisor, because you have been an angel. Thank you so much for dealing with me. And that was what this whole retirement incentive was about. So I'm super grateful about that. But it isn't enough. Like, it is not enough to actually sustain my life and pay the bills and do anything extra and all that stuff. But it is an opportunity to bet on myself and to put myself out there and to allow me to grow. And so I felt like the decision point was like, if not now, then when? And in its truest sense. And if I kept going in that same direction, I think that a lot of parts of my life would have declined. And I went to a networking event the other day, and I was telling someone that I have been working in a virtual world for 6 years straight. I don't report to an office that's local. And when I said that out loud, I realized how much it's taken a toll on me. And while I love the online space, I also love people and I love human connection. And so the mission is now, and has more become, to create a more real community and to really connect with other humans a lot more than I have been. Because I've also noticed that it's been negatively impacting my health. There's been weight gain. There's been vision issues that I just get super tired looking in front of a computer. And what I really realized was that, well, if I'm only on a computer and I'm only in virtual meetings and I'm only connecting with people through Zoom, then that's not going to be good for me longer term. So while this is a YouTube channel and you guys are looking at me on a screen, I have full intention to expand in my human connection and do a lot more networking activities and conferences and local activities and things like that too. So I think that will give me like a really good balance in my life. Plus, I love working out and I love running and I love fitness and all that kind of stuff. And so if I could find more balance between working and health and fitness and playing and joy and family and being present for my daughter and all of that stuff, I don't see how I could not have taken this opportunity to retire early. But it does mean betting on myself. And early in this video, I talked about how I'm not 20 anymore. And my energy levels are really different. And my health had taken a toll from, I think, seriously, the 6 years of like pure virtual since COVID hit. So I noticed that I'm not taking as much steps every day. Like, there's just things that, like what I call micro abandonments, that a lot of things that I had let go. And so the last year has been an evaluation of checking in on those micro abandonments, is what I call, and fine tuning what I used to do before, when I felt healthier, when I felt more alive, when I felt more engaged, more able to balance my day with my side hustle, with my presence for my daughter, and have the house clean all the time and all of that stuff. Because let me tell you, I think the last 6 years, and I don't know about you and how you've been feeling, but with all the pandemic stuff, and then the increased virtual environment and the expenses going up, it just feels like it's like a perfect storm for like burnout. And I feel like I'm seeing that. You tell me in the comments, but I feel like I'm seeing that in a lot of my friends and family and in my online space community as well. And that we're all kind of looking for something different and something a little bit more simple and balanced. And I think that's what I want my channel to be about. So here's kind of some takeaways that I hope that you can take away. When I've been thinking about my future and what to do and how to move forward, is that I do have a lot of experience. I have lived experience. I have professional experience. I have business and coaching, performance coaching experience. I have so much to offer, and so do you. So if you have gone through any kind of hard time in your life and had to come through it and build that resilience muscle up, and you're here and you're doing things and you're taking action, you have come through it. And I would bet that that experience has made you a better person, that you can help others with whatever experience that was. I've been business coaching off and on for about 15 years. Life has been happening and I haven't really been able to get it off the ground. But I've also learned a lot from that. I've also created a lot of frameworks. I've learned how to do marketing and email funnels and so many things. My lived experience is an asset. So while I have the education, I have the professional experience, but I think it's my lived experience that is going to make the difference into how I can show up and serve others. And I think that if you have been through something hard, if you are contemplating starting over again, which is never really starting over, but if you're contemplating starting over and rising up again, or taking another shot at that side hustle that you've been thinking about taking a shot at, if you are wanting to start a YouTube channel, if you are a healer and want to do healing coaching, if you are a life coach, a yoga instructor that wants to teach yoga and expand their reach in yoga, if you are just a knowledge expert in anything in your life, maybe you even have a PhD, but also, and then at the same time, you have all this behind you. And even if you're exhausted, or you've had a really hard time, or you feel burnt out and you don't really know what to do with all that, I just want to tell you that all of that experience, all of that messiness is an asset, and you're not going to go into it and providing service to people without having that level of appreciation for what it takes to rise up in hard times. I think my slow rise, and if you feel like you're behind, you're not behind. It doesn't mean you failed in launching. I've had to have the talk with a couple friends and around on the idea of entrepreneurship. And I think one of the big objections is putting yourself out there and it not working. And that's the definition of entrepreneurship. You put in an investment, you risk an investment, whether it's time or money, and you don't know whether it's going to work or not. And that is something that I've just really had to let go of. And then I've only honestly recently let go of, because you can put so much effort into being online and posting those reels and creating YouTube videos. And if you go back into my YouTube channel, you will see a ton of videos that I created for my clients before. Go check them out. I've paused for a while, so if you're listening to this now, it's 2026. This is one of my newer videos, at least at the time of recording. I'm just decided to retire. That's the timing of it. But I'm not starting from nothing. But I have been slow to rise. I've had some really good, consistent waves of business come through me, and then life happens, and then it just kind of gets pulled away because I could not at the time continue to focus on on serving my clients the way that they deserve to be paid attention to. But now I feel like this is a different phase. And I also don't feel like I failed. it's not, it doesn't mean that it's a failed launch. It means that I'm just taking a longer runway to get there. And I hope that you guys, if you're feeling the same way, you can come along with me on this journey and just see where this channel goes and where my new resilience comes from. And and then and just see how everything just comes together. But here's what I am going to focus on is practicing what I preach and keeping things as simple as possible and making sure it's intentional and on purpose and not crossing those boundaries of going into complexity or going into any rabbit holes, and just keeping everything beautifully simple and simple offers for the life that I want going forward. So if you're a woman who's been through hard stuff and you're wondering if it's too late, just know that you don't have to be a polished version of you, because in this video, I am a mess. This is the first one I've posted in a really long time. I'm just showing up as I am, and I want to invite you to show up as who you are. You don't have to be the polished version of you, and I don't think people want that anymore. I think that we want a lot more human connection, and I'm going to try to keep that tone in this channel so that when I'm talking to you, we're having a conversation, and that I'm talking to a friend on the other side. And I hope that you get that feeling and that vibe from me, because I'm here to tell you that it is possible and you can bet on yourself and you can rise up. And even if you're 50 and you feel like you're starting over again, and your energy and your body and your mind just feels like there's like a brain fog, or your body doesn't have the same energy as you did in your 20s and your 30s, just know that you have so much to offer you. The version of you that can show up now, just standing on that edge, that cliff, waiting to kind of jump up and take the leap, wondering if it's too late, even though the floor has shifted, even though the world is crazy or something crazy has gone in your life or unexpected in your life, you're still here. And that's not nothing. And maybe that's everything.